Tell us what you can remember of the day.
Of the day?
Yeah, the day it happened.
The day it happened? Well, we'd been busy getting ground ready to sow seed, and I'd been off disking, and I'd come back with silage to load the mixer wagon up for milking that night. So I'd sat bales off and taken the discs off, and then gone back to the bales, and I pulled the tractor up short of the bales, and I just in a hurry, so I just jumped out of the tractor and didn't worry about the handbrake, and I was starting to cut silage off the bale, or the plastic off the bales of silage, which were directly in front of the tractor, and I suddenly felt something sort of poked me in the bum, I guess, and I jumped because it hit me sort of on the left outer edge of the bum cheek, and I jumped, and I didn't jump far enough out of the road, and it caught me on the inner upper thigh, they call it, and I was stuck there against the bales.
So you obviously you got the prick for the start, and then the tractor rolled forward. And so, like, when I was starting to cut the plastic, like, you're reaching over, and you're bending out and away a bit, and so I would have had probably like maybe a foot of extra room when I first felt it, and then sort of, I guess if I hadn't have jumped sort of across a little bit, I would have had the double prongs of the forks through each hip, as how I sort of accept what would have happened, and so I jumped, and then I sort of I guess the tractor kept coming forwards, and then it was sticking into me and pushing me against the bale, and sort of at that point I was sort of thinking it might not be too bad, it might be able to just sort of back the tractor off if someone comes along and put a band-aid over it maybe. Sort of while I was sort of standing there, I felt the prong sort of push all the way through and come out the front side, and sort of at that point I knew, well, it's not going to be a quick fix, and it was definitely going to be a hospital trip. I sort of had, I guess initially I was calling out for help and hoping someone would hear me, and so I probably did that for about 10 minutes, I think, and then I sort of could feel my throat getting pretty sore, and so I thought, well, that's a waste of time, and I'm just sort of making myself panic. And so I just settled in and tried to make myself as comfortable as possible. And then obviously, your dad came along. SES chopped it off. You're flying to Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us can you sum up quickly what the surgeons did and how you're feeling and the end result now?
So helicopter ride to Royal Melbourne Hospital, and when we got there, they straight away they did X-rays, did chest X-rays and all that sort of stuff to make sure there wasn't anything else wrong, which I guess is routine, and they spent about an hour, I think, deciding the best way to go about it, and they eventually just decided, well, I think their words were, we'll just pull it out and have a look. So fortunately, when they did pull it out, there was nothing else majorly damaged apart from the entry and exit site. I guess the slow progress of the point through my body enabled everything to just slide out of the road, and yeah, so I got myself sidetracked.
And then, yeah, obviously the surgeons pulled it out.
Yeah, they pulled it out. They gave it a clean and stitched me up. Obviously they had drain tubes there to let fluids escape and that sort of a thing. And I think it was about, I think it might have been 8 o'clock at night or something when I came out of the anaesthetic. I'm not too sure on the timeline there.
And yeah, surgeons have said that, you know, they think you'll make a full recovery.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, with obviously none of the major organs inside damaged. It's just a matter of, I guess it's like healing a muscle tear, really. Yeah.
And I guess what would you like to say to everyone to emergency services or anyone or family or anyone about the whole situation?
Oh, mainly just a really big thanks to everyone in the emergency services that came, the WAI CFA crew, and the SES guys from Numurkah, and yeah, the ambulance guys. They just really professional about how everything happened, and yeah.
Excellent.